Dear Internet, hi, it's me, Garbage Mammal. Now you might be noticing that I'm copying the Game Theorist right now, specifically Austin. I know that. I copied Mitten Squad, I copied the people who make songs out of different sounds, I'll copy the Game Theorists. Sue me. There's a lot of science that hasn't been discovered or covered by any other channel, and I want to figure out the stuff that they missed. And Austin's format is pretty good. Props to him. Check out their videos, there'll be a link in the description. That being said, it is time to start. So what are we going to be learning today? We're going to be learning about how fast people can walk. Bottom line, does being taller mean that you actually walk faster? Well, to figure that out, we'll be doing some basic math. Division, addition, multiplication. Do you think you can handle it? Well, then good. You can do this at home and test my results for yourself, and you should come to a similar answer, but it will be slightly different. So, how do we start? Well, that's simple. Pixel measurements. What I did is that I took a picture of myself next to something called a pixel ruler, that being something that you absolutely 100% for sure know the absolute size of. I used two rulers, a pool noodle and an empty box for Diet Coke. The internet says that one side of a Diet Coke box is 21 inches, and a regular pool noodle should be 3 feet tall. So what do we do with that? Well, first we measure the pixels of the Diet Coke box. For those who don't know, a pixel is the smallest unit of measurement in electronic formats. This video you are watching right now is made up of 1080 pixels up and down and 1920 pixels left to right, but it's probably been shrunk to fit your screen size if your screen isn't 1920 by 1080 pixels. Why does this matter? Because we need to know exactly how many pixels make up one side of the box of Coke. If we can figure that out, it's just a simple division problem to find the inches per pixel, or pixels per inches. We'll be using inches per pixel, as I find it easier to work with. Great, we have our measurement. Well, now what? Well, we measure again. This time, we measure ourselves. For me, the Coke box came in at 109 pixels tall. So if we take 21 inches divided by those 109 pixels, we get 0.19 pixels per inch, or ppi. Now to measure ourselves. I measure in at 1,167 pixels. When divided by the 0.19 ppi, we get an answer that says that I am 219 inches tall, or roughly 18.5 feet. Wait, what? Okay, so obviously that's wrong. But what happened? Well, what happened is that Coke is a liar. After running some tests, I found out that the height of a Diet Coke box is actually 15.75 inches, not 21. How did I test it? I used a Bic pen, which is 5 7/8 of an inch. How do I know that that measurement is accurate? Moving on. After getting this new piece of information, we can get the height for realsies. We take our new height of 15.75 inches and divide it by our previous box measurement of 109 pixels, which comes out to a whopping 1.4 ppi. Now we multiply that by 1,167 for the pixels and 13 feet. Dang it! Well, what's the real problem? Scale. You see, pictures can be deceiving, and I was not helping with the angle of the photo I took, so I took a new one and stood behind a wall before taking it. This is important. A wall is a fixed starting point for pixel measurements, so that perspective can't mess anything up. I remeasured the Coke box, and the new PPI came out to a lot less at 0.0625. Using this new and improved measurement, I once again plugged in my pixel measurement and got roughly 6 feet, which is pretty accurate. I did this a few times, stopping at different parts of my head, where I thought the sculpt ended, and the most accurate measurement put me at about 5'9", maybe 5'10". That is a pretty accurate number, and that is what we will be using to determine my walking speed. The units we will be using for this section is feet per second. How do you get your feet per second? Easy. Find a place to walk and measure that place. You can use pixel measurements, but an actual tape measure or real-life ruler will work just fine. My space came out to be 24.25 feet, and I rounded down to 24 feet because I wouldn't be walking wall to wall like I measured. Now, you time yourself walking. Walk at a comfortable pace, not too fast, not too slow, and time yourself while you do it. When you reach the end of your walking space, end the timer and check the time. My time was 5.0278 seconds. I divided 24 feet by 5 seconds and got a walking speed of 4.8 feet per second. From here, you could do two things. 1. Divide your height by your walk speed to find feet per second per foot. Or, you could get someone else to walk the same distance, but that is a different height. My sister is 4'9", which is exactly 1 foot less than my measurement of 5'9". That makes future calculations so much easier. But you might not have someone that's similar in height, so you may want to just divide the feet per second by height. The way that I'm doing it will be more accurate, but either one works to some extent. My sister walked in the same area that I did, 24 feet. She did it in 5.7426 seconds. Subtracting my walk time from my sister's, we get exactly 0.71489361702 seconds per foot of height. Using this number, we could make a table of heights and walk speeds to see definitely, once and for all, definitively, if height has any significant effect on walking speed. Once again, note that these numbers come from my experience and mine alone. I encourage you to do this as well and see how far your numbers stray from mine, because they will. This isn't the end-all be-all, but for our purposes it's more than enough to answer the question. Let's see the table. The table was made in Desmos, as I don't really want to take too much time animating one myself. As you can see, we have heights ranging from 6 inches to 8.11 inches, that being the tallest man in the world. These numbers on the left are in base 10, not base 12 like inches are, so 5.75 is actually 5 foot 9 inches, and 8.9166666 repeating forever is actually 8 foot 11. The numbers on the right are feet per second walking speed. Once we have these numbers, all we gotta do is multiply them by 60 squared to get feet walked in an hour. Then we divide by 5,280 to get feet per hour walking speed, the final frontier of walking speed comparisons. The average walking speed is 2.5 to 3 miles per hour, and the average US height is 5 feet 9 inches. At 5 feet 9 inches, based on our math, you would walk at a walking speed of 2.80 miles per hour, slightly higher than you would expect, but it's still in the average range. That means that our math isn't off by a lot. It is now official that we have a slim enough margin of error to call this scientific. So if the walking speed for us is about 2.8 miles per hour, what do you do if you're 6'6"? It comes up to about 3.2 miles per hour, only 0.4 miles per hour above the average. That means for someone who is 6'6" to walk a mile, it would take them 19 minutes, while someone who is only 5'9" would take 21 minutes. To me, 20 minutes is a significant amount of time to save. For someone who is 6'6" to save 20 minutes walking over a 5'9" person, they would have to walk 8 miles. 8 whole miles! In comparison, the average US citizen only walks 1 to 1.5 miles a day. It would take a whole week or more to save 20 minutes if both the 5'9" person and the 6'6" person walked a normal distance each day. Your 9-inch height advantage gives you 20 minutes more out of the 10,080 minutes in a week. Less than 10% of 10% of the time in the week, so please enjoy those 20 minutes. Sincerely, Garbage. P.S. Did you like this type of video? If you did, I promise I can copy more YouTubers. There are so many out there that make things, and I have no ideas, so I can just keep copying them forever and forever. Or I could make more videos about this. Not this in particular, but you know, about like the way Austin does things. I probably wouldn't do it in his style again, but I would be doing science, which is cool, because science is cool. Speaking of science, go ahead and check out the Game Theorists. They have a link in the description. They're better than me, and I'm copying them, so why don't you watch them instead of me? I don't really have anything else for you, so I've been Garbage Mammal, and height just doesn't matter.